Hello everyone, I am Andrew Dornan, also known as the 12th Gun here on YouTube, and today is a very different video. Real quick, if you are returning after not watching my videos for a while and you may be wondering, hey, where are weekly video challenges? I recommend checking out the last few weekly roundups because they actually explain what's going on with that. And you also may notice that we're in Minecraft. I'm using the Windows 10 version of Minecraft, just messing around trying to get a feel for it. And I'm making this video for a couple of things. One, just earlier today I issued a formal castle building challenge to my friend Beth, who also enjoys playing Minecraft. And so I am working on my own castle. It looks a little bland, but that's actually kind of the point. Also, as you can see, the door open. There's a daylight sensor, which I've actually set it for to check to see if it's night, and then at nighttime it opens up and you can go inside. But I'm not actually going into that right now. I'm just throwing that out there. Also, if you want to submit your own entries for this castle challenge, it's open to everyone. You just need to be a member of the Discord server and post in the Minecraft channel or a specific Minecraft challenge video, not video, but channel on the Discord server. So, really just set the... Alright, sorry about that. I forgot I had the slash key set to something else. Well, thankfully, Windows 10 lets us do that without needing to hit the slash key, because it's supposed to be like uniform across all platforms. But the meat and potatoes of this video is actually how to better defend your castles. And I'm not entirely sure if anyone has done something like this. It's something that popped into my mind recently as I was watching someone's series on a Minecraft server. I think the server's called Castle Quest. But it got me thinking about setting up your own castles, and then also how to defend them. And I also got the idea of this design from Aaron from Last Stand Gamers with his video on how to better protect your base in Space Engineers. And so this idea is inspired by that. So what we have is we actually have layers. Now it is like TNT can punch through some blocks pretty well, and you probably think, well, I'll just, you know, increase the thickness of the walls. So you can do that. However, that's not necessarily cost efficient with your resources, especially if you are in a survival multiplayer setting. What you can do is, because, you know, string is plentiful because spiders are ever respawning every single night, and also in mine shafts there are tons of cobwebs, you can actually get the supplies to make cobwebs. And that's what this first layer is. It's nothing but cobwebs. So the idea is that they break through and they go through, but then they're slowed down a bit. So this buys you a little bit of time to actually go through and ready your defenses, both inside on the interior of a castle and also the exterior. And these could also be your big fortification wall that runs around your entire castle, and not necessarily the castle itself, because you want your castle to look good, and so you would use this design for that. So that was the first layer. The second layer is actually this kind of Russian roulette kind of thing, where you've got four places that have a dangerous thing in it, something that could cause instant damage to you, or something that can force the enemy out, or they can just hit a wall. However, hitting the wall also may unleash the lava. So if they go through here and they're not paying attention, they immediately start mining there, the TNT will ignite and detonate, and depending on how well their armor is, they could just straight up be defeated or just be knocked down several hearts. And that actually gives you a bit of an advantage, because then they're using up all of their healing items before they've even gotten through your main defenses. And also with the lava can actually like push them back, because how lava flows, it's just slow enough to give them at least a chance to get out of there, or at least a chance to try to block up the source of the lava. And so that will definitely slow them down, as they're trying to struggle with the cobwebs, and they're also struggling to cap off the lava and also heal themselves. And then up next we have this third layer, which I'm not sure about you guys, but I prefer having just a random layer of defense that is actually empty. And so that way when you're they've already gone through 2 layers of defensive countermeasures, and when your invaders get here, they're immediately worried. They're trying to find hidden traps, looking everywhere they're going to, everywhere they're stepping, and then when they think they are safe enough, they will actually break through and walk in here. Now, if they're not paying attention and they're thinking, okay, well, this was empty, maybe the next area is, so they mine this out and they're not paying attention, they run right in, they end up hitting these pressure plates. And there's actually a lot of them, and they're all hooked up to the same line of redstone as kind of a redundancy measure, so that way if one pressure plate is destroyed, the rest can still operate. And what they do is they actually activate that rail up there, and this is power railed. In case for some reason somebody doesn't know what power railed is, I'm sure there are tons of people out there who are more knowledgeable in Minecraft than I am. But this, anyways, enough of that. This redstone actually comes up and around and briefly deactivates this redstone torch, which actually enables this one and powers the rail. Now, if you had an actual Tnt Minecart, in fact, I can demonstrate it pretty easily just by grabbing some of these. And we would also need to grab a minecart from our inventory, or from here, the master list. So what we would do is you would have your tracks right there, and then have a line of redstone and a torch, and now they're lit up, and whenever something like, for example, a minecart with TNT goes over it, the TNT is now activated and ignites and detonates. So that's actually, you know, a good bit of countermeasure, and depending on your server settings, it could just leave a lot of supplies and a lot of loot from the enemy to collect. And depending on how much TNT you put on here, you could potentially just wipe out this entire layer. So while you do effectively lose an entire layer of defense, you've also severely crippled the advancing invaders. So just also real quick before I go to the recap, you can expand on this. You can repeat layers, or you can come up with even crazier ideas for different layers as you move on. Like, you could have a layer where you have signs at head level all across, and right above those signs is lava. So for them to go through, they have to break the sign, and thus causing lava to pour down on them. You could also have the floor be completely be made of obsidian in each of these areas, so that way they could theoretically mine through still, but they would have a very hard time. And then also you could just let your imagination do wonders to have dispensers. You could corral some zombies and skeletons into an area. The sky's the limit, really. And I really hope that this kind of gets you thinking about different kinds of designs and how to better protect your castles, or even if you don't have a castle, if you just have like a house and really nice farmland, you really want to protect it, you can put that like several hundred blocks away from your massive defensive wall, and just watch as the defenders try to go through and are met with roadblock after roadblock until either they are all defeated, or until they give up, or if they do manage to get through, they'll be so low on supplies and badly injured that you can go and swoop in and take care of them before they can do any real damage to your farm. Now, this does sort of require a bit of materials. You definitely will need a good bit of redstone and also iron, sticks, and gold to make these tracks right here. The stone pressure plates are pretty easy to come by. You just need to smelt some stone, which you get from just throwing cobblestone in here. What might be the most expensive out of all of this is the TNT. And that's just because, you know, creepers don't tend to drop that much unless you are running a modded server wherein the materials to get TNT, more specifically the sulfur, gunpowder, whatever it's called nowadays, is a lot more plentiful. But that is actually it for today. This was a very short video, but it was something that just popped in my mind, and I really wanted to make a video on it. And so well, here you go with the ideas for better defending your territory with these multi-layered walls, so that way they can't just drop some TNT, ignite it, and then waltz on through. It does require a bit of resources. They could be stone, could be wood, although if you're going for the lava trick, it might be in your best interest to use cobblestone. Heck, you could do dirt to give the impression, like dirt on the outer layers, to give the impression that it's easy to break into, but then once they start going through, you have tougher and tougher materials. But that is actually going to be it for today. As always, thank you for watching. A couple of quick reminders. I am issuing this formal castle building challenge, and there is no set deadline. I'm going to keep it open for a few months just because everyone has their own availability and their own amount of free time, and so basically it'll end when I feel like I've given you guys enough time, which should be around like 4 or 5 months, maybe even more. Additionally, to enter, you need to be a member of my Discord server, and you can check that out down below. And I believe that is it. Oh, and one quick thing before I forget, I am looking for submissions for a best of 2018 video. You can submit your suggestions over on the Discord server as well. I have a specific channel set up for that. Now that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.